Welcome back to yet another edition of the Early Apex. I'm Dylan. I got Rob here as well. And Rob, you and I have gone through kind of a fun exercise here. What have we done off camera to prep for today's episode?
I'm pretty sure we did what everyone else does as soon as they hop on Bring a Trailer, which will after be mentioned as BAT for the rest of the of the show. It's BAT. But
Bring a Trailer, BAT.
Right. But we thought, all right, what's one sports car that everyone right now is buying? Corvette C8, the new C8 Stingray, about $65,000, right?
Yep, starting price. Yep.
What about a whole driveway for $65,000? What's your dream driveway up for $65,000 that you brought on Bring a Trailer? Which it does not sponsor this show, unfortunately.
Not yet.
Not yet. Yeah, so we picked our perfect driveway. We got a family of two here, just a husband and wife.
Just a husband and wife.
Newlyweds, you know. You're about 34 years old.
I feel attacked here, Rob.
But yeah, that's the show. What's your perfect driveway?
Yeah, what's your perfect driveway?
You know, you wanna have like that comfortable daily that you can put some furniture in from IKEA.
Yeah.
Put some lumber in from Home Depot, but then you also want to be able to go maybe do a track day, maybe do some sort of other, racing event. So yeah, what's the driveway look like? And your wife has to drive something. You know, you can't just sleep around in the cold. She doesn't just work from home and you get the groceries and you let her out occasionally.
Yes, she needs a functional vehicle. You need a functional vehicle. They can't all just be projects. So what is a realistic $65,000 driveway from Bring a Trailer? And we put a couple caveats. One is, with recent prices, I wanted to choose cars within the past 12 to 24 months or so, something that's realistic. We're not going way back in the archives from 6-7 years ago, because prices change and fluctuate. So we wanted this to be somewhat realistic.
Yep, has to be post-COVID prices.
Post-COVID prices, yep. And a driveway that checks all boxes for sold prices. These aren't, the bid is at this point, or the reserve wasn't met, but that's the going rate. So it didn't, no, these are sold cars on Bring a Trailer. So it's as realistic, within reason as we can get.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And we're going to have example. Each one has its own specific example. Yeah. So.
Yeah. These are the cars that sold.
These are the exact cars, color and everything.
Oh yeah.
Color and everything. All right. Here, give me your picks first here, Dylan.
Okay. Yeah. We'll go through each other's picks. I'll send them to you on Facebook one at a time. And then we can argue about who's more correct than the other. So to start off, I'm going to get Sierra's car and the family daily out of the way right up front. All right. For $25,800, so $25,800, just last month, a 2017 BMW 330i sports wagon sold, for $25,000 essentially. So this is a great all-around vehicle. You and I love wagons. This is an M Sport. It's automatic, so Sierra can drive it too. I could see doing, week-long trips with the family in this car, right? It's got all-wheel drive, so it's going to be a great all-around vehicle. But yeah, if we're on a family trip and there's some twisty back roads, I'm not going to be stuck behind the wheel of, a pickup truck or an SUV. I'm going to be behind the wheel.
Or even maybe like a 2012 Ford Focus.
Or that. You know what? I kept up with you guys last weekend pretty well, if I must say so myself. Side note, folks, I just recently went to Philly with Sierra. We were able to visit Rob as well as some other friends. And I kept up with you guys okay.
Yeah, you did fine. You did fine in the base Focus.
You're 100% right on that this car would have been way better on that Spirited drive.
A lot more fun. Yeah.
So yeah, I think you know where we're going with this. This is the all around. I'm going to Home Depot to pick up some 2x4s for the family project. You know, we got to shuttle the kids around. We got to go on a family vacation. This checks all those boxes.
I immediately have the fear that all of our picks are going to be like perfect mirrors of each other from just like different eras.
Oh no. Okay.
Do you want to do the rest of yours and then do mine then?
I'll do the rest. I'll do the rest of mine. So for me, and of course, you know, I need to have a daily and like a winter beater. I'm up here in New York State. Right. The roads are salted here. So we're going to have a little bit of a different situation. I can't just get away with driving my ultimate car year round because it's going to fall apart. Right. It's going to get rusty. I'm going to hate my life. It's going to piss me off every time I see it rusting out. So what I've done here, I found an '06 VW Golf for $10,000 that sold this past January. Rob, this has 74,000 miles on it. 10 grand. It's a hatchback. It's four doors.
This is cracking me up because this is like a $2,000 car. Like if this thing had like a little bit of rust on it, a couple dented panels, maybe some like paint flake, it's a $2,000 car, but it's on Bring a Trailer with no rust, perfect paint.
These are the absolute perfect versions.
We are on bat. So
I realized early on in doing this exercise that some of my picks are I can't find just a basic cheap beater on Bring a Trailer. Like any super cheap cars are
the antithesis of that, unfortunately.
No, well, any cheap car is like a project car. It doesn't really run quite well, or like whatever. And I'm like, you just can't rely on that. So you know what? I'm going to buy a minty Golf. And here's the other thing. There's another box I'm going to check with this car, aside from just my general daily, and that is an event that I've always wanted to get into, and that's rallycross, Rob. This car, I could totally take to rallycross. Absolutely could totally rallycross this car.
This little peach, you're just gonna.
Well,
wow.
If I honestly had this car, it'd be hard to beat on that much. But you know what? I'm driving it through the winter. This is a throwaway. So this is my all-around daily winter car.
I mean, I could see someone rallycrossing the $2,000 version of this car. I mean, it's the non-turbo 2-liter, so it's probably half reliable. Just thrash on it. It's not going to overheat.
Yeah. Now, the next car I'm going to send to you, this is, and you're probably going to see a theme here. This is my main summer car. This is the trip that if we had just gone to Philly, that we would have gone to Philly in, right? So what I found here was a 2002 BMW E46 M3. This is a 6-speed, and it sold for $25,000. And yes, Rob, this had the subframe fixed on it. It's from
was
Florida.
It the rear subframes bushings or something, right?
Well, no, the rear. No, worse than that. The rear subframe likes to tear itself apart, especially if you have too sticky of tires.
Okay.
There is another issue with the M3s. I couldn't find many addressing this issue, and that's Vanos or Vanos.
Yeah, Vanos is just... Well, that's because there's no solution. It's just like you have it and suffer.
Yeah. So there is that flaw with the engine, but other than that, like it's gotten the rear subframe fixed. $25,000. Honestly, Rob, this is what I want my next car to be.
This is a beautiful car. I mean, it's such an iconic color, the Laguna Seca blue.
I was gonna say it's the right color.
I'm amazed that this car sold for 26. I guess $160K on it.
Right.
There's your answer. But still, I mean, it's beautiful.
Yeah,
it's beautiful. I can't knock it.
That's what I get to drive around. I work from home, so I don't have to drive to work every day. But like, this is my summer, 6 month out of the year. Fun car, you know. If it was just Sierra and I, this is the car that we would have taken to Philly. Yada yada yada. You see where we're going here.
Yeah, it's got those nice seats out of a Z4M. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like
now
that.
We have a little left over. I've got about $4,000 or so. I think my math's a little off. Left over. So what do we do with that, Rob?
No.
I found a couple things. I couldn't quite decide initially. I could buy a Ducati 350 race bike from like the 70s. I could buy a set of BBS, a center lock wheels. Why? Because why not? Because I have leftover cash.
Just to put them on your wall.
I even found an old F1 Ferrari front wing that sold this past year that I could buy. But, I didn't do any of that because what am I missing, Rob? I am missing a project car. And to be on brand, I found a BMW 2002 project car. It's very rusty. It's not that great. For $3,700, I think I might be over budget by like $100.
Oh my God!
But you know what? Every enthusiast needs a project car. You just need it to
sit in your garage, I guess.
Yeah.
And,
you know what? And it's on brand. We've already got 2 BMWs, so why not add to the 2 we already have? And
this thing's a basket case.
I will say, with a car that is in this condition, anything goes. Right? It's super rusty. I could practice working on body work. We could go fender flares. I could buy, a donor car in the future and just, a 3 Series donor car and just put all the stuff on this car. Anything goes with it. But you know what? It's going to sit in the corner. It's going to collect dust. I'm going to daydream about it and do absolutely nothing about it like most enthusiasts.
Yeah, once a week you go in the garage with the beer, you stare at it for an hour, and then you wait till next week.
Exactly. So that's what we're working with. We're working with essentially, in summary, we've got a BMW Wagon, M Sport, all-wheel drive. We've got a Golf. We've got an E46 M3, and we've got a project car that I'll never complete in a 2002.
You know what's really interesting is you went all Deutschland.
I went all Deutschland, yeah.
Even on the project car.
Even on the project car.
And I almost did that. I got close. I almost did that.
Really? Okay, before your initial takeaways, let's hear yours, and then we'll start going back and forth.
I'm gonna blow you out the water with these. So.
Oh no!
It's gonna blow your mind.
Okay.
What I selected here.
All right.
So first off, we have the cool version of your kind of family daily.
Did you? Can I guess it? Can I guess it?
All right, go ahead.
I'm not gonna look at it yet.
Yeah.
Did you go with the Volvo VR70? Did you do that? Did I call it? No. Okay. I almost found it. Okay. I'm looking at it.
Those are cool, but you can't beat the classic 540i Sport Wagon.
Yep. I see what you're doing here.
2003. It's beautiful lines. Like this is the wagon. It's got the box, and it's also like just a tremendous amount of space and the amount of glass down the side of the car. You can put so much in this thing.
That is a long car. Wow. Look at that.
Yeah. 540i, you got a 4.4 liter V8, the M62, a ton of torque, some good V8 sound to it, with a little exhaust work. It's already fitted with some nice, like BBS style wheels there.
Okay. I feel like all of your cars are going to be great cars to choose from. This has 189,000 miles on it. Is this your daily? This is what you're relying on?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's been loved. It's been loved. People put work into it. It's bulletproof. Come on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. What's next?
It's excellent. And it's a manual, So next up, we have got what will effectively be my daily.
Okay.
And that is a 2003 911 Carrera.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Now, with what I was working with, I was looking at the 997s, the second gen water-cooled Carreras. And then I found this one in speed yellow, which is like my absolute favorite Porsche color of like the 2000s. Like it's just, I love a bright color. It just jumps out at you. And like every other 911 on the road is freaking black or silver or gray. It just called to me, It's
so
it's had the IMS bearing done.
Okay. So this is your like summer daily, like my equivalent of the M3.
This is my year rounder.
So you're saying this is your so this is your Okay, you are killing me here.
The ladies driving the wagon year round. And when we go on, like, we go kayaking or something like that, or we have to go get some whatever lumber, IKEA furniture. All right. And then this is my year-round daily.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, the 911 was created to be the, like, everyday sports car, right? Like, it does everything well. And you can drive it through the snow, no problem. I'll have a set of snow tires for it. I don't even need that. It'll have some all seasons.
Okay.
And it'll be a ton of fun. I almost did this in real life, but I wimped out because I was afraid of having like an IMS bearing failure. And then I'd be sitting on a $20,000 car that was worth $5,000.
Yeah. A $20,000 paperweight.
Yeah, exactly. And needing a $15,000 motor. But I love this thing. I love that it's yellow. It's this one's a beauty right here. So, it's something maybe you could do some track work with it. You probably don't want to if you want to keep driving it every day. But an excellent street car. And so now for the piece de resistance, I needed something exciting in my life. I've already got a 911 as my daily. I already get to have fun every day. So I want something that's like exciting and quirky. And unsafe,
What did you do?
And so we have the, absolute classic, eternal Caterham Super 7.
Right. All right.
This particular one finished in like all aluminum bodywork with some exposed aluminum. It's got the Ford Cortina 1.6 liter twin overhead cam engine in it. Actually sold in PA. It was built in PA, so I could have just went and picked this one up. It's excellent. It's roadworthy. It's got carburetors sticking out the side of the front fender.
I see that. That looks awesome.
It's going to be ready for track days. Do like some hill climb events or whatever. Now that we're big hill climb guys.
You think I'm crazy for spending $10,000 on a Golf? $26,000 on a Caterham?
Yeah.
Wow. That's
Heck
bold.
Yeah. This was a cheap one.
Bold.
This is a cheap one. What are you talking about? It's on an aluminum space frame. Like the thing is a bona fide race car here. It's got a Caterham, chassis number, It's 95 was the build date in good old England.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And that's your three. Because I see.
That's
these
it.
Are all,
I'm maxed out.
It.
I'm maxed out.
Okay. All right. Let's see here. Why don't? Okay. Yeah, that's a lot of money for. Are Caterhams really that much money?
Yeah, it seems that they are. Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, you might be able to get in the one under 20, but then all the good ones are in the 20s and 30s.
I did not realize that. That is such a large amount of money for what looks like a toy car. I just have to.
What are you talking about?
I mean, I'm buying a family wagon that has reasonable mileage that I can drive every day. It's super capable, super comfortable. You bought a car that in Rochester, Rob, I could drive maybe a month and a half, 2 months out of the year.
I mean, it's a good thing I'm not in Rochester.
This is true.
If you're aggressive, you could get 9 months out of this thing.
Okay,
if you wear your warm coat. I am
exaggerating by a month and a half and two. You're probably looking at like a hard 4, maybe. I mean, you've got to really bundle up outside of those 4 months, likely, depending upon if you want to be driving it every day.
Right, but I've got a 911. I'm daily in 911.
Dude, you are
so I'm having fun every day.
My goodness.
But then when I really just want something like that's an experience, like just a full body experience, you get in the Caterham, and then it's.
Okay. Yeah, so my initial instinct is 4 is better than 3. So I'm beating you there.
that 202 doesn't count. That thing does not move.
See, that
doesn't count. Absolutely
you're
does not
100% right, and that is 100% like facts. But that's like, it's honestly like a joke about how so many people like have the car in the garage that's collecting dust that's never going to move.
Oh yeah. So many. That must be half of the project cars in the world.
In existence, at least.
Have been they're just lost in a wormhole.
Lost souls
of children.
Oh yeah.
And other things that are more important, air quotes. I mean,
stuck in.
What do you need a new water heater for? Finish the project car.
Stuck in project car purgatory.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would say that now we do live in a little bit of different climate. It's not substantially different, but I think your Porsche and my BMW do go fairly toe to toe.
I think so. I think so.
That's pretty cool. I think
they are honestly, right next to each other.
Pretty toe to toe.
Both really good colors. They would photograph great next to each other, actually.
You know what? They make a great couple. You're right. I think yours probably has a level of specialness that mine doesn't. I've driven the E46. Shout out to my best man, who you'll meet at my wedding, Matt. He owns one. I've driven it multiple times. Great car. But I kind of like it because it does go a little under the radar. Your 911's not going to be going under the radar. But I got back seats. I got 2 kids. I could absolutely pick up kids in the daycare. I don't really have kids yet. But like in this situation, hypothetically speaking, I could be doing
But you already have 2 dailies. What do you need a third daily for?
Well, it's the 6 months out of the year daily.
You can pick them up.
I could do everything
with the Golf. You can pick them up with the other BMW.
But I could do it in my M3. And I could go to the track day in my M3. I could do it all in my M3.
See, I'm kind of disappointed you didn't go for something more daring,
more crazy.
You got 3 cars and
Rob,
2 people.
Who are you talking to right now?
Mr. Safe over here.
Mr. Safe. Come on,
Safe.
Mr. Safe. I had to go with what I know. But in all seriousness, I think the E46. Maybe this is just because I want one as my next car. But I do think it can do everything from your track day to a trip to, hey, you know what? The family is going on a day trip that's like an hour away. We can at least take the cool car. We don't have to take the wagon. We can take the cool car. So it was kind of like the do everything. And then the 2002 was the classic back burner. For like when the kids graduate, I'll finally get around to like touching that car. It won't get done, but I'll actually like start working on it, 20 years from now, approximately. I'm imagining these kids are, 3 and 6.
It'll be about the time that like that era of car has now like hit its lull, like the American classics have, and
Yep.
Our kids are in the cars and they don't give a crap about those cars.
Yeah. All right. So I think your wagon is definitely cooler than mine. There's no doubt about it. You've got a V8. It's an M5 and all that stuff. My question to you is, the first time something goes wrong, how big is the bill?
Well, it's not. It's an M Sport, so it's not. It's still just. Still like a.
Okay.
It's not like a high-strung motor. I think they're kind of reliable. More reliable than having the M5 with. I think that what is the S62. The M62 is a more chilled out. Like it's gonna keep going. Not too bad. You can find one, in a junkyard for a reasonable dollar. That's all. It's gonna be okay. Have you seen that engine bay photo? That thing was well cared for.
Sure, yeah. Bring a trailer.
Yeah.
Yep. I'll say this. I think the M3, going back to that choice, yours is definitely a little hotter. I think mine's more usable. I think it's a wash there. I think I'd argue it's a wash with our wagons as well. Oh my gosh, as I drop this, my light just knocked over. I think it's a wash with our wagons as well, because I think yours initially, day one ownership, yours is cooler. It's got the V8, it's got a 6-speed, but mine is what? 13 years newer.
Yeah, I mean, yours is faster.
And,
it's going to be way comfier.
It's the more usable of the two.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't have 200,000 miles on it. It has 70,000 miles on it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, you're going to look like a prick, but you are going to be in considerably more comfort. It's probably better in almost every way.
Yeah. Yeah. I think your hack was you're just going to drive a 911 year round. I think that was your hack.
And you can do that anywhere, Dylan.
I could do that You know what? I just need to come at this with more of a comic book mentality. Hey, if rules don't matter, I should just
There's no rule. What rule? There's no rule.
I should just daily a DeLorean. You know, why not?
There's no rule. There's no rule, Dylan. No one's going to stop you. There's no police.
It's not going to rust. The DeLorean's not going to rust.
There's no like salt car police, you know?
The main flaw that I see in yours, and it's not necessarily your fault, how are Caterhams that much money? There's like 12 parts to that car. There's no roof. There's no windshield. How is that a $25,000
aluminum panels? You know, it's got like just the, you know, that little. If you
had $25,000 left over of your three, I would have gone a different direction.
What else would you have gotten? What else would you have gotten that's like really?
You could have gotten an M3.
Okay,
you could. You know, switch
but
the
an
two.
M3 is boring. I already have a 911.
No, switch the two around
for $25,000. What could you get that is more exciting than a 911?
No, I don't disagree. You get the M3. You get my car, literally my car, to do as a daily year round. Maybe I'm like showing my hand here, saying that yours is more exciting. And then you get to show up the track with a 911, dude.
No, you're gonna blow the 911 up. That's what I know. For $25,000 you can't get a Porsche that won't blow up on track. So,
touche.
Yeah,
touche. All right. Any last thoughts on your end? I think we both picked some pretty cool cars. I mean, I have 4, so obviously I'm the winner, right? No,
4. I'll be honest with you. I would rather have that F1 front wing hanging in my garage.
Yeah, you know what?
Because then I'd be able to put both my cars in the garage and still walk in there and admire the F1 wing.
What about the BBS center locks, dude?
Then I would be upset that I couldn't use them.
One day, no, Rob. One day, I'm gonna own a car that I can put those on. One day.
What are they, like 10-inch wheels for like some?
They're crazy. They're like some crazy
1970s class of race car.
18 by like 10.5s or something staggered setup. Yeah. So one day, actually, Rob, one day I'm going to convert my E46 M3 to center lock. And I'm going to use those wheels. One day. Wait until you see it. All right. Well, comment down below who got this right, and what would be your driveway for 65?
Who's right and who's wrong? You know,
it always does floor me, regardless of each of our choices. It does always floor me. For $65,000, you can still get a lot in today's market, right? These are all sold cars on Bring a Trailer. There's a lot of options.
Absolutely, and you even got stuff that was like sensible. I think the majority of people out there would just be like, yeah, I'm not gonna daily a 190,000 mile car. Like they just don't have the balls or the patience for it.
I know I don't. I know I don't.
But yeah, no, your cars are realistic. I think I would probably just like maybe that BMW is the replacement for the wagon, then you swap the other two out. You know?
Yeah. I like your boldness with the 911, and you know what? I could see you doing it. I could see you. It's already got the IMS bearing done.
It does.
I mean,
she's ready to go.
You know what? You only live once. YOLO. Classic YOLO.
And on that,
let us know what you would have done down below. All right, moving right along, and keeping with our unintentional themes, Rob. I'm shocked that it's taken us this long.
Oh boy, we're going back to Deutschland, aren't we?
to have an FMK based around wagons. We're on, what, episode like 14, 15 at this point?
Wow,
How
no
have we
wagons.
not done wagons? We both clearly like wagons. We both just picked them in our previous segment. How have we not done wagons yet? And when I came up with this topic before I went and researched for the previous segment, because of the first of the three cars that we'll be able to choose, and that is the new BMW M3 Touring. It's coming out as a wagon, dude. It's coming out as a wagon. It's 503 horsepower. We don't have many specs on it. I'm imagining it's going to be very similar to the current M3 with, engine and 0 to 60 and that sort of stuff. We don't have any official numbers just yet other than the horsepower. I think torque might be in the article as well. But yeah, hey, it's going to be in the color that you see here in this Car and Driver article. I'll put up on screen for our YouTube viewers. It's going to be white. And yeah, this is kind of what inspired me for this segment. So this is our first choice. Our second choice is the classic favorite amongst many car journalists, and that is the Cadillac CTS-V Wagon from 2011. That's right, the 556 horsepower, 551 foot-pounds of torque, crazy muscle wagon from Cadillac when Cadillac was doing nut stuff. They're still doing decent cars, but I feel like this was the beginning of their peak. This car does some crazy stats, like 0 to 100 miles an hour in 9 seconds. 9 seconds. Quarter miles, a 12.3. Yeah, this is a rear-wheel drive wagon. Awesome car. Just really cool. You can't get them for cheap anymore. Everybody likes them. I don't think they even made that many.
No, definitely not in the manual.
Yeah, but that is an option here. It's a cult classic. And then the last of the three to choose from is the Audi RS4 Avant 2021 is the specs that we're looking at here. So we're going to use the specs. The Car and Driver is talking about the new 2024, but we're going to use the specs from 2021, and that is nearly 600 horsepower. It's 591 horsepower, 590 foot-pounds, 8-speed automatic wagon. How is this car being made today? This is nuts. This is nuts.
It's such a beast.
It's 0 to 60 in under 3 seconds, Rob.
It's a brute.
2.9 seconds. The quarter mile, it's an 11.3 quarter mile. This is
it weighs 5,000 pounds too.
Yeah.
It's massive.
Yeah. So this is like ultimate wagon segment based on the fact that the M3 is finally coming out. I always lust over M3 wagon conversions. BMW is actually going to beat us to the punch on this one, providing us with an M3 wagon right from the factory. So here we are. What are your initial thoughts?
Yeah. So I already know. I love.
Go ahead.
I absolutely love the. I'm sorry. I've opened up an ad and now it's screaming at me.
Car and Driver did you dirty.
Yes, it did me dirty. The M3 is amazing. Whatever. Maybe it's ugly. Maybe it isn't. But that new M3 is just so it's so impressive. Wait, which one do I get? Do I get the manual or do I get the auto comp?
Ooh.
Well, it's a touring, so you won't get the comp.
I'm gonna guess it's automatic, but let me see if there's.
Well, you can get. I think you can get it as a manual as well.
I'm seeing automatic in the article. I'm just trying to see if they say anything about a manual.
But it's just such an impressive car all around. Like, I love the nerdiness of all the driving modes that it provides. And I mean, we talked about this in a previous FMK where I gave you the option of the M3 Touring. It's I love them. I think it's such a cool car. I'd marry the M3 for sure.
Wow.
For sure. It's just such a great all-rounder.
Okay. Cool. It looks like they only talk about automatic in the segment. Would that affect your choice at all? Or would you still just go with the automatic if it's all that they offer?
I think I would still go with the auto.
Okay.
Because it's got the all-wheel drive, and you can like switch it to two-wheel drive mode whenever you want, and just like light up the rear tires, and that's fun. The gearing is long on the manual, and they've never, it's not the best transmission, so like you're giving up a bit less. As much as I love manual all the time, everywhere. No, it's still great. It's still great with the auto. I just was able to drive one the other day at work, and they're every time, like, I enjoy them. And BMW does an awesome job, and it's just got that new carness of just like everything is working right and doesn't creak. And as much as the CTS-V is so cool, so much power and such a brute, it's man, that I don't want to go back to that era of American interior every day.
I was going to say, I kind of did it dirty by choosing it purely because the interior is so inferior to
the 2011 Cadillac. Oh, it's
rough.
Hideous.
It's rough.
It's just like, it was like bad design then. I don't know. Which is what makes it absolutely the one-timer for me. I love to drive that thing.
You're crushing a wagon that does 0 to 60 in 2.9 seconds.
The Avant is super cool, but I want something with a harder edge. The Avant is like way more of just like a Grand Tour, like a softer car. And for that, it's like a little bit boring to me. It's really heavy. It's pretty big.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. A wagon that does 0 to 60 in 2.9 seconds does sound pretty boring to me.
It's just, we talked about before. It just doesn't have that like sensation. Like when you get in like a Cayenne Turbo or like a Tesla or something, it's like you're going so fast, but there's just like no sensation of speed.
There's no drama
because everything it's heavy. And there's like no drama. There's no noise because the thing's so well like insulated.
It's a sense of numbness. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's 5,000 pounds. Like it's it can only do so much with that weight in terms of just cornering and agility and moving the thing around. So I want the spice of the M3 every day. Yeah, and then I want to feel, there's no traction control, a manual, and 600 plus horsepower. The CTS-V, like
you want a rowdy time with that, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Rad. That's cool. That's cool. I can respect that. I'll tell you one thing. I'm not crushing that Audi. I'm not doing it because I need to experience, whether it's every day or one time, a wagon that does 0 to 60 in 3 seconds. I gotta know what that's like. I did do the Cadillac dirty by choosing a GM product from the early 2010s.
It's a shame the new one, the CT4V Blackwing or CT5V Blackwing, doesn't come in a wagon, because I think that might have been my everyday pick.
It's kind of crazy too, because that is a cult classic, and that car is expensive in the aftermarket, but in secondhand sales. Like, it's retained or appreciated in value since. And yeah, the interior just doesn't hold up. It just doesn't hold up.
Oh yeah, I mean no American car from that era can. Nothing really does, but yeah, it stinks.
Yeah,
it's
the
bad.
only thing that keeps me from absolutely doing everything I possibly can to marry the Avant is the gas mileage. I know I read it in this article. I'm trying to find the exact gas mileage. Okay, it's 16 and 13. 16 combined, 13 highway,
I mean, the
or
CTS-V
13
has gotta
city,
be worse, right?
and
It's gotta
20
be worse.
highway. Let's see what the Cadillac is. The Cadillac is
15 average.
Yeah, so that's better. That's better than the Audi. The
How
Audi
is that even possible?
No. Sorry. It's one better. The Audi is one better at 16. So you're right. And it's 19 highway for the Cadillac. Yeah, Cadillac has 19 highway. The Audi is 20 highway. So it's 1 mile per gallon better. That's rough for the Cadillac. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to crush that car. I'm gonna have to crush it. And I picked that thinking that I would potentially marry that car. But I'm gonna marry the Audi. I'm gonna be a little wild this time, dude. Come on.
Apparently in the M3, I can get over 25 on the highway.
That might be the car actually. You know what? I'll switch that. I'm marrying the same thing, and I'm going one wild ride with that Audi.
I'm gonna be honest.
The Audi is
You cannot tell the difference between the M3's 3.3 seconds 0 to 60 and the RS6's 2.9.
I think overall, the realistic choice is the M3 for the daily. Like the actual marry, have a long, prospering relationship with. It's not going to rob your wallet like the Audi or the Cadillac.
That is like truly the car to do it all in.
Yeah.
Like an M3 Touring. I mean, if you get that and you're not afraid to get it dirty, like you can absolutely take it to the track and, beat the piss out of it. And then you can go like put 2 dogs in the back or your family or whatever. Like you could go camping in the car.
Yeah.
Small family could go camping in the car with that.
Yeah. Just like our previous segment where we both had wagons to do it all in. Just doing it all in an M3, man. How cool is that?
Yeah.
Likely an automatic, but still. And yeah, I've got to just be able to say I've done 0 to 60 in under 3 seconds in a wagon. Come on. That's a checkbox. That is a checkbox in life right there. So comment down below. Let us know if you would have actually chosen the Cadillac, and if you just are blind to interiors. Rob, any final thoughts before we finish this segment out?
I don't know.
You were pretty quick. I did not stump you at all. Not even close on this one.
Yeah, I just love the new M3. I think it's a great package. I really want to drive the CT-5V. I mean, it wouldn't be included. It's not a wagon, but it's in the segment. And, maybe the CT-5V has something the M3 doesn't with its, uniqueness and what Cadillac's able to do with their V cars. I don't know. But the M3, it's just, it really is that do everything car. I don't know. Can't beat it.
Yeah. Maybe next time I pick FMKs, I don't lead with a segment. Maybe I just lead with cars to stump you. Maybe that's what I'll do.
I mean, that's what I was working on last time. I don't know. I got to refine my approach, learn your weaknesses.
It's just, you know what? I'm just going to pick a bunch of M3s. That's what it'll do. All right. Let us know down below what your choices would have been. And pass it along to a friend. Maybe you two can argue about it just like Rob and I did.
So as much as Dylan and I both love all these beautiful gasoline-powered cars, the future is coming. And we have news from Tesla that they have decided to open up their superchargers to non-Teslas. So when you roll in with your, Nissan Leaf, you might be able to use a Tesla supercharger.
Oh, look, honey, the pores are here.
Yeah, pretty much. No, it's pretty interesting because at least as far as I can remember, Ford or Chevy or, Toyota have never had their own gas stations, at least not in America.
Yep.
But Tesla effectively does have their own gas stations, and that is interesting. And the fact that they're opening up to other brands, is also obviously there must be some great gain for them, aside from the point that they're going to be selling electricity to people. At probably a higher rate than I would think, at a higher rate than if you owned a Tesla. I'm sure they'll probably be putting some sort of incentive there for that. Honestly, slightly troubling for me.
Oh yeah, what is the most what's the standout troubling aspect of this for you, Rob?
I think one, you've got a company that controls the beginning to the end of their cars and end user. And we haven't really talked about it, but it's known that Teslas don't want you servicing your Tesla anywhere but Tesla dealerships, and basically don't let you, and refuse to sell parts to non,
Tesla
outside
dealerships,
of Tesla, basically. So one, you've got that problem, which I think conflicts with some U.S. laws around, being able to maintain your own vehicle, and, the right to repair type things. But then also, it also controls where you get your fuel for it. And them reaching out and becoming a fuel service provider for other companies, I feel like because they are going to have they already do have the best network of electric charging stations, at least in America. Basically enables them to give better service to Teslas and basically further incentivize Tesla purchasing. It makes it a kind of like an unfair marketplace for other vehicles out there. Like imagine every gas station's a Toyota gas station, and when you go there and you're Ford, it fills up half as fast. Or you pay 50 cents more per gallon. Yeah. So now you're going to, even if the product is worse, you may end up going with the Toyota for that reason. There's that.
That's a good thing to think about. It's a good thing to be concerned about for sure.
I think also, Tesla obviously not doing it out of the charity of their hearts. There is, a U.S. Infrastructure bill aimed at aimed at sustainable energy.
USA.
Aimed at sustainable energy infrastructure, and they want a piece of that money, that they're basically giving out in tax refunds or whatever. And so by them opening it up and not being Tesla specific, they're going to be able to take a piece of that change. Whether that being good or bad, I'm not sure, but What are your thoughts, Dylan? Where are you feeling on this? Are you skeptical?
I would love it to just maybe like, you know what, Rob, I'm a free market man. Let's just let the market figure this out. But no, I think I have the same trepidation.
Well, that's the thing about free markets, right? And the U.S. has done it over and over again. Yeah. And I don't know enough about business law, but when companies try and vertically integrate and like monopolize whole industries, the government doesn't let them.
Yeah. No, I think you're spot on. I think I could see this playing out into the future where at some point the government just buys all of Tesla's super stations or whatever they're called. Superchargers?
No way Musk would let that happen. I think Musk is worth as much money as the U.S. government owes China at this point.
That's a hilarious stat. I wonder if that's true.
That's not true. It can't be true. I think Musk is worth like $200 billion. We own the $9 trillion, but yeah.
We're into.
I don't see the government being able to strong arm Elon.
If they force their hand in terms of some sort of monopoly situation where they're they're coming at that angle. That's the only thing that I could see playing out.
Right. I mean,
this.
Gas is a utility. Like getting gas is a utility.
Fast forward and scale this up. Tesla has far better infrastructure of their recharge stations, just like you'd mentioned. They're the best ones out there. I hear the reliability of the other options are just nowhere near as good. They're not serviced as well and that sort of thing. I'm wondering if, and what I said earlier, I'm wondering if this plays out where basically the government is like, all right, Tesla, you've done a lot of the groundwork for us already. Now you've made your supercharge stations universal. They haven't yet. I'm just saying, like, this is how I could see this playing out. It's now universal. You now are essentially a public utility, and we're going to settle outside of court, and we're going to take control of all your stations, essentially. And I know you're saying, well, Musk won't let that happen. I think Musk is going to get a huge fat check if this like scales up like this. Because frankly, our infrastructure is not going to be able to catch up anytime soon. We need every single port being able to charge every single EV right now.
So that leads me to my next point on my insane theory.
Let's do it. Let's hear it. We're on the same page, just like we are wearing the same shirts today.
My conspiracy, yes.
These are the Pagoda Hill Climb shirts that we both happen to be wearing.
This is why we never argue on the podcast, because we're always just like in perfect sync
the same
like this.
Page. My God, it's so true.
So my next conspiracy theory is that, Tesla's already been dabbling in battery packs for electric grids, right? They've got this thing called the Mega Pack, which is something you can plug into your electric grid, and when you run out of, let's say your electric grid is powered by solar and it's nighttime, so you need to store the energy somewhere. You need big battery packs. So they've got this thing called Mega Pack. I see Tesla, once EVs, especially in a place like California, already has power grid issues, and California has the strongest push towards all electric.
Yep.
They're going to, everyone's saying it, they're going to screw up their electric grid. They're going to fuck themselves. They're going to have terrible power outages, and Tesla's going to step in and start becoming the whole utility provider, start to finish. They're going to open up, I don't know, wind power farms or whatever, but they will be creating the electricity, storing electricity, distributing. And so soon you're going to be paying, like we pay Pico in Pennsylvania, you're going to be paying Tesla for your electricity bill at home.
Yo, my tinfoil hat is now on as well.
Yeah.
Because here's the other thing. I'm not sure exactly where they are in this tech. I think it kind of fell on its face at the moment, or it's on hold. But Tesla doing solar panels. You're really with those energy packs, those electric storage packs, you're really controlling a huge amount of electricity in like a general middle class home, right? Let's say I'm a California resident. I've got rolling blackouts. What do I need? Electricity. Hey, we have solar panels. Put a solar roof on and rely less on the grid. Buy our batteries to store the power that you're making on your roof. And oh, by the way, we've been selling these cars for now like 10 years. Buy a car. And you can do everything from capture the sun on your roof, store it in your basement in one of our mega batteries or whatever silly name that Elon came up with. And then, have that power your car too.
See, they're creating the demand.
They're taking over the world.
And then, yes, Skynet.
In all seriousness, that is a lot of the consumables around electricity. Because I'm sure like that battery pack, you could like store and run your house off of it. House, vehicle.
They've got everything,
Yeah.
And when it's all running Tesla software and it feeds back into the grid, I'm worried to see like corporate America, corporate America already controls our fuel and stuff, but at least there is a semblance of a free market with, competition between companies,
or at least the illusion of competition.
Or at least the illusion. I would at least like the illusion, Dylan.
Yes.
I would like the illusion.
What? I agree. I
just want Tesla to take their label off of all the chargers, and then I can just forget that Tesla controls the entire electric car charging
slap
infrastructure.
Slap Sunoco on some of them.
Yeah, rebrand them.
You know what? Bring back Hess. When was the last time you saw a Hess
love
gas
Hess.
station?
Some little Hess Teslas.
Yeah. Next
Hess
year, it's not the. Yeah,
Can
exactly.
Not the Hess Cybertruck.
We're again on the same page.
It'll be like, you can't buy this in real life, but get the Hess truck this Christmas.
Oh my God, what's the electronic like art that you can buy? Like it's not PDF. It's like some acronym for it. What's the hell? What the hell is that? Like you buy a car and you get like a GIF of the car. What silly shit is that? It's like, oh yeah, this is unique. It's like the one thing that in existence of. What the hell is that? Yeah, that's what they're selling at Hess for the Tesla Christmas. Hess truck's back and it's better than ever.
NFTs.
It's just an NFT this year. The Hess truck's here. Yeah, there you go. Just an NFT Hess truck.
Could you imagine gifting your 5-year-old nephew an NFT for Christmas? And they'd be thrilled. They'd be freaking thrilled.
They'd be thrilled on their iPad that's glued to their face. Absolutely.
iPad babies everywhere.
We're off the rails. This is great. I love it.
Yeah. We'll all still be here on Earth when everyone goes in the digital world. Leaves us behind.
Absolutely.
And Tesla's Skynet.
Well, okay, here's the last question for you. What other silly nerd references are going to come out of Tesla? We had the Tesla, like, going plaid. The crazy like Spaceballs reference. What's Tesla's next? What's Elon referencing next?
Wait, I think I know the Spaceballs reference.
Yeah, dude, going plaid. Have you not seen Spaceballs?
Once, a long time ago.
Okay, so for everyone who
this.
hasn't seen Spaceballs, this is something we can argue about. No, the fact that you haven't seen Spaceballs. No, so going plaid was them going like extremely fast. Like they went like beyond light speed.
Oh, okay. So it's just like light speed, but it's plaid.
So as opposed to like the, like the classic, like, Star Wars, whatever, obviously.
It's warp
they
10.
go warp speed or whatever. You see all like the stars becoming blurs and they go in that almost like worm tunnel thing. Well, they go fast enough where that all just becomes plaid. Thus, the model Tesla plaid. Because it's so fast, they went plaid.
Got it.
Yeah. Anyway.
Huh. The more you know.
The more you know. I think the next movie he references is from The Princess Diaries. I don't know what he's going to reference, but that is of the same ilk, the same era. It totally fits Elon. The next thing that he references is going to be from Princess Bride.
Princess Bride.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Well, we can end on that. It's gonna be something with like you killed my father. Prepare to die. What was that character's name? Did you watch Princess Bride? It's totally gonna be.
I have, but I don't remember that character's name. That actually really fits perfectly.
You killed my father. Perfectly. Prepare to die. All right. Oh, man. Now that this is totally off the rails, thanks for listening. We appreciate you. And share this silly podcast with a friend.
Yeah, our silly little podcast, our silly little rants.
Yeah. And maybe
trying to discourage the future of electric.
Yeah. And maybe the next one we film might be right after a track day that we do together, whether it's in person or a couple days later.
Maybe a little different format.
I'll be seeing you again. I just saw you, 2 weekends ago, Rob? I'll be seeing you again this weekend.
Freaking stoked. Big track day at Palmer Motorsports Park, if you know
Let's
it.
Go.
Central Massachusetts.
Let's go. And we're going to be staying in a church, in the basement of a church. It's going to get wild.
It's going to be a holy experience. Absolutely.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, thanks for listening. Yeah, share with a friend, and more episodes coming out.
All right. Till next time, guys.
See ya.